Number 10, Kendall Jenner. Now, there have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on screen. Each and every member of this family has been accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest of her family. In side-by-sides, Kendall's eyes are actually larger than they once were, as well as more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there's no way she could achieve this look just by using makeup, unless, there's some special magical substance that yanks your face back, which probably exists, but it's suspicious, which is basically what a ponytail facelift is, so it's really the only real explanation. Number 9, Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. Side-by-sides from her Disney days till now show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of cheek fillers, but her eyes are a lot more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past, designated to enhance features without the need of invasive surgeries. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently has. It comes as no surprise to learn that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and has adamantly denied that she has received any major surgeries over the years. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from her Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. Now, while it's never been confirmed if she's actually received any kind of work, just watching her on screen is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo that a lot of people grew up with has vanished into thin air. Number 8, Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery is becoming so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to the ones that are taken this year, it is night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are a lot more almond-shaped, and Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving this treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time, and in 2018 she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery could do to her face. While this ponytail surgery is not the most extreme surgery there is, it's still an invasive one, and it's one of the more sensitive areas of your face to take care of, but that's okay as long as nothing gets, injected into your eyeballs, right? Everything's fine. Number 7, Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. "What's good, Miley?" No, she denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages, and over the years, fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both on her face and on her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns, but as with many things involved with her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work, right? Whether it's plastic surgery or not, she just looks different. Side-by-sides show that Nicki didn't have these naturally almond eyes like she has now when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her face, because it looks different. Number 6, Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers, maybe some rhinoplasty. The jury's still out on whether she had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far as denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so who knows? We can't ignore the changes that we've seen this year. The singer has been rumored to have even more cosmetic surgeries towards the end of this year, causing her to look unrecognizable. The redhead that we loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems like a totally different person. Ariana's eyes are more almond-shaped, she has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles, and she never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received surgery or not, but the face that we know and love is hidden behind a new Ariana. Number 5, Kim Basinger. Kim Basinger is a former model whose face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she has had some kind of work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to express, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claims that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes, and these could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables like Botox. She has also clear lines around her mouth area, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin is also much fresher and has more of a complexion. This could be due to several factors like laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nazab agreed and added that he believed that she might have have also had a fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped thighs behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman that there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid any Botox, any other skin treatments, just listen to Ireland's mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all those years. She wrote it on an Instagram post. Kim herself has never addressed speculation surrounding her looks. Number 4, Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled. But as the years went by, it seemed like those crow's feet vanished into thin air. And by the time this past year rolled around, she made a return to the mainstream, starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday. She was a completely different human being, according to fans. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look like. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills, and she never confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and face conditions. Number 3, Lil Kim. For the past 25 years, she's been pushing the boundaries as a female rapper and breaking records. Lil Kim's also considered to have pioneered mainstream love-positive feminism in hip-hop and has carved a path for many contemporary artists like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Cash Doll. In addition to her unique sound and lyrical matters, she's known for her breathtaking, flamboyant fashion style and advocacy work for various causes. However, the American rapper served as an unforgettable MTV moment that made heads turn a few years ago. It's tough to deny her natural presence and beauty. After her lip surgery and a series of facial surgeries, she became unrecognizable to fans. Literally, people at her concerts were like, "Hey, who's that?" This speaks volumes, especially in front of the people who adore you the most. It also means that Lil Kim had too much work done. Staying relevant in the scene can be challenging as more female rappers rise to fame. Unfortunately, Lil Kim's attempts to fix her perceived natural flaws took her commanding presence and gorgeous looks away. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic family comedy The Parent Trap. She played twin sisters Hallie Parker and Annie James, who randomly meet at a summer camp and discover their parents split them up when they were babies. The twins then hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together, and it is a great movie. I love it so much. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in cult classics like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Mean Girls as, the main character, Cathy Heron. Unfortunately, her character took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she served 84 minutes in jail. Yes, minutes. Some people spend years in jail, but Lindsay got a little warning because she's Lindsay Lohan. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, and she decided to take that time to make some cosmetic adjustments. She got some work done to herself, and the little Lindsay that we grew up with is now trapped behind a thin layer of silicone. Number 1, Cardi B. Cardi B has never been coy about the plastic surgery procedures that she's had done. During an Instagram Live in December 2022, she talked about a procedure she had done to her butt years ago, and it gave her followers a word of advice while doing so. Following the birth of her son, Wave, in 2021, Cardi B said that people thought she had work done when in reality she had gotten surgery in August to have 95% of her bipolymer bum injections removed. She went on to say that you should do your research and listen to doctors, and not just with, injections, but also anything involving your rear and all the other plastic surgeries and cosmetic surgeries as well. Like, really, just double check your sources, people. In 2019, the rapper got candid about having to cancel and postpone shows because of the need to recover from liposuction. And on Twitter, she talked about having to miss work for 2 weeks because of it. That same year, Cardi also told Entertainment Tonight that she had a chest lift after giving birth to her daughter, Culture, and was unhappy with needing to take time off. So Cardi's biggest thing is not that the procedures are bad themselves, but with the recovery time that it seems to take.
First up, we have Eva Mendes. Fans accuse the actress of looking unrecognizable when she visited the Today Show on March 26th. She was talking about her latest business venture, but people couldn't help but notice that her face looked very different from only a few years ago. All the comments under that video were about her new appearance, with people writing things like "too much Botox" and "stop with the filler." But thankfully, there were also a lot of people who came to her defense. One comment said, "There is nothing wrong with her face, people. It's called aging, and she is doing so gracefully." So that could be the simple explanation. After all, Eva Mendes has not admitted to going under the knife. The only thing she talked about was getting a monothread procedure in 2020. In a now deleted Instagram post, she shared a picture of herself with several needles injected under her jaw. The star got mixed reactions from her fans for that one, which is probably why she took the post down. But clearly, people are still drawing attention to her looks and claiming that she's had way too much filler on the lower half of her face. Speaking of filler, fans have also been accusing Emily Blunt of going too far, saying that she has now completely botched her face. Of course, they are being way too harsh considering that Emily has been in the spotlight for more than 20 years now, and it's only natural that she's looking a little different. After taking some time off in 2022, the actress hit the red carpet for the premiere of Oppenheimer the following year. And of course, fans were quick to notice that she had a whole new face shape. Although she still looked beautiful, her face was noticeably fuller and rounder instead of long and narrow. Her lips were also looking plumper than ever if you compare them to 2018. While Emily has yet to respond to these accusations, she has commented publicly on plastic surgery in the past. During a 2019 interview, she hinted that she did not like the idea of surgery because she loves imperfection. She said, "In Hollywood, people are suffocated by plastic surgery, but striving for an impassive perfection isn't something I ever found beautiful or have tried to achieve myself," which is a great way to look at it. Another celeb that might share a similar view now is Courtney Cox, who you might recognize from Friends. She has been quite vocal about regretting getting cosmetic work done. Courtney Cox shared in a 2016 appearance on Running Wild with Bear Grylls that she regretted getting filler done. She shared part of her reasoning as to why she got cosmetic work in the first place, saying, "Getting older is not the easiest." The Friends star went on to say that she had learned her lesson and was simply grateful the work she'd had done were things that could dissolve and go away. She even acknowledged that the overly filled look wasn't her best look. She still felt this way years later. In 2022, she did an interview with the Sunday Times in which similar sentiments were echoed, and the actress said she would never do the cosmetic work now. Some might argue that Kylie Jenner getting her famous pout was amazing for her, and others stand firmly on the side that it was a big mistake. Kylie's lip injections were, and still are, a hot topic, especially considering Kylie's most well-known makeup product from her brand were her lip kits. The marketing of said lip kits suggested to buyers that using them would give you the look Kylie had. Of course, that wasn't true for everybody. The lip injections were a good thing for the star because they were her trademark feature for a long time. Her lip kits, they would sell out within hours of a drop. However, some would argue the injections hurt the star more than they helped. Kylie's lips became the focus of plenty of internet bullying. Then, the false promise of getting Kylie lips with the lip kits had some people claiming the reality TV star was causing her younger audience to feel insecure. Turns out, even Kylie might agree. In a 2016 interview with Allure, Kylie shared that she definitely made her lips a little too big at one point. She did continue sharing the reason why she felt the need to get the cosmetic procedure in the first place, saying, "I got excited and felt like I needed to do a lot. And then her family was like, 'Kylie, you need to chill,' and then I had to go back and have it fixed, and it was a crazy process. Thank God I didn't end up on Botched." While Kylie regrets going overboard, she does not regret getting the filler. Though years later, Kylie has shared a new regret about getting work done, and it's regarding her kids. She shared that she hopes her daughter, Stormy, doesn't feel the need to get work done in the future just because her mom did. Kenny Rogers has had quite a few cosmetic procedures done, but accidentally changed his whole image in the process. The country music artist shocked fans all over the world when he revealed a major transformation in the early 2000s. Of the procedures, the ones around his eyes caused the most chatter. Rogers was known for his sweet, gentle appearance, but many say his new look no longer reflects that. Post-procedure, many described Rogers as looking constantly surprised. Fans were confused as to why the star felt the need to get plastic surgery done in the first place, a question Kenny answered in his 2013 memoir, Luck or Something Like It. Rogers shared that he was just trying to keep up with the younger stars in the country music scene and that he wanted a revamp. 2006 was actually the first time he addressed the procedures, commenting on his eye job, saying it was too tight around the eyelids and that it drives him crazy. An interview in 2012 with CBS This Morning had the country crooner revealing that he regrets his decision. He said, "I had the money to do it, and I had time off, and I regret that. But the truth is, I don't know what I would have looked like if I hadn't done it." Thankfully, he had some friends around to help him find humor in the situation. Dolly Parton apparently used to tease him about it. Khloe Kardashian may have had amazing results with her nose job, but she was less than pleased with the outcomes of the fillers she got in her face. She also implied that she still feels a bit haunted by them. Khloe got fillers in her face in 2015, but didn't admit to getting them until a year later in 2016. This came as a shock to fans, since the reality TV star was always so against getting any work done. Speaking on her cosmetic work, Khloe said, "It did not work for me. I looked crazy, and I still think the effects are in there. I went to have it dissolved like 3 times. According to health websites, it usually takes 1 to 2 visits to dissolve most fillers, so Khloe must have either gotten a lot or really had been feeling the phantom effects. There might be a reason the fillers did not work super well for her though. Khloe had gotten them just before a major traumatic event in her life, and her doctor later shared with her that her heightened emotions at the time might have impacted the fillers. Khloe shared how she felt about everything now that it's over, saying, "It was a bummer, and now I'm afraid to do it again, and I'm almost like, I swear things are still in my face. It's unfortunate she'd had such a horrible experience." Beloved actress Jamie Lee Curtis shared her heartbreaking end to her plastic surgery journey. The actress has shared her thoughts regarding cosmetic procedures many times over the years, once going so far as to say, "I've had a little lipo, I've had a little Botox, and you know what? None of it works. None of it. It's such a fraud, and I'm the one perpetrating it." Those comments came in 2002, but even 2 decades later, Curtis still sticks by her statements, echoing them in other interviews, and even sharing the heartbreaking detail that not only did the procedure not work for her, they made her reliant on a pain reliever for many years. She is doing better now though, and has been good for over 20 years. Sharon Osborne is no stranger to cosmetic work, but one procedure had her comparing herself to various mythical monsters. In 2021, Sharon Osborne went in for a 5-hour full facelift. For 5 hours, you would expect to come out with exactly what you wanted. Unfortunately, Osborne received her worst nightmare. In her words, she came out looking like a cyclops because one eye was different to the other. She also compared herself to a mummy since her face was covered in bandages after the extensive procedure. Sharon claims that when she showed her husband Ozzy Osbourne her new look, he said, "I don't care how much it costs, we'll get it redone." It's now years later and Sharon is looking just fine. She did end up going somewhere else to get herself fixed up. The downside with that one though was that she had to wait until her face was fully healed before going back in. Osborne is known for being very supportive of getting cosmetic work, receiving many surgeries before the facelift. However, the 2021 incident has left its mark. In an April 2023 interview, the star shared the disaster put her off the surgeries and that it now frightens her. She said, "I really pushed it with the last facelift, and now I am like, no more." Jennifer Grey's nose job pretty much cost her her career. Grey had just starred in Dirty Dancing, that massive hit movie, you may have heard of it. The film was her big break, only after it came out it was rare you saw Grey on the big screen or small screen. It might have something to do with the nose job Grey received in 1989, 2 years after the film was released. When Grey got the nose job, her face looked very different. It's hard to know what your defining feature is until it's gone. Speaking on the nose job and its impact on her career, Grey said, "I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. I'll always be the once famous actress nobody recognizes because of a nose job. It's unfortunate that such a promising star felt the need to adjust her appearance and then lose out on opportunities for it." Though Grey wasn't working necessarily as much as she'd hoped, that doesn't mean she wasn't working. She had a few guest appearances on TV shows and even a few TV movies. She also made the excellent decision to go on Dancing with the Stars in 2010 and of course won the competition that year. Maybe the most famous celebrity cosmetic surgery situation was that of Heidi Montag. Montag was an actress on the show The Hills, but she is also known for undergoing 10 surgeries in one day. It happened in 2010 when she was just 23 years old. 2 years after the surgeries, Montag did an interview with Access Hollywood Live where she revealed that she was definitely in way over her head when it came to the cosmetic work. The actress said she initially only wanted a few enhancements and then it got kind of out of hand. Some of the procedures Montag received on her face were a brow lift, Botox, and chin reduction. To make matters worse, Montag feels she wasn't properly prepared or had it explained to her well enough just how much pain she would be in after the procedures. She said, "I wasn't told really the repercussions and what would happen emotionally and physically and the pain I would be in. I was kind of in shock." A good indicator for how bad the experience went for her is that she hasn't received any additional work since then. Almost a decade after it happened, Heidi shared her 32-year-old perspective on the situation with Cosmopolitan, saying, "I was way too young to make such a life-changing decision and was under so much pressure because it was the beginning of comment sections and negativity and hate on the internet. The surgeries, meant to fix these issues, only made them worse, but it looks like the actress has moved on as best she can and is focusing on her current health."
Starting off, we have Madonna. At the 2023 awards, when Madonna showed up to present an award, fans barely recognized her. Many questioned whether she had undergone some form of cosmetic surgery, and now several leading plastic surgeons are weighing in on what they believe Madonna could have had done. Dr. Horn says she looks like she's undergone a facelift. Her eyes also seem smaller, likely due to being pulled during a facelift. It appears as if she's had rhinoplasty, as this version has a pointy tip and seems too narrow. Botox was also evident on many areas of her face, while pointing out the lack of expression lines and wrinkles, as well as her minimal facial movement during her speech. Now, social media went ablaze about this, and 2 weeks later, Madonna took to Twitter, posting a photo of herself, captioning it, "Look how cute I am now that the swelling from the surgery has gone down, LOL." Now, she didn't reveal any further details on the nature of the procedure or when she had gone under the knife, but it appears that she finally admitted to having plastic surgery, which is about time because everyone knows she had something done. On to Joselyn Wildenstein. Despite the enormous amount of speculation and reporting on the many surgical procedures that socialite Joselyn Wildenstein has undergone over the years, she has always denied any suggestion that she's had surgery. But I mean, if you look at photos of her over the years, you can tell she's lying, as no one naturally looks like that. It says her surgery journey started with an eye lift and then she had a facelift. It's also said she had a brow lift, facelift, lip plumping injections, chin augmentation, fat grafting and/or cheek implants, upper and lower eyelid surgery, and canthroplexic, a procedure that elevates the eyes to give them a cat-like appearance. Now, this has resulted in her being nicknamed Catwoman. I mean, she doesn't even really look human anymore. Now, Joselyn told Daily Mail TV that her cat-like eyes and high cheekbones were due to her Swiss heritage, but many people, including myself, are skeptical. I don't see other Swiss people looking like that, so I don't think it has to do with her heritage at all. Moving on to Lil Kim. In April 2016, the rapper posted a photo of herself that shocked the internet. She looked unrecognizable with her very pale skin, slim nose, and long blonde hair. "Dark-skinned Lil Kim was perfection. I don't know who this woman is anymore," a fan tweeted. Now, Dr. Jennifer Levine, a board-certified plastic surgeon, can spot the differences too. It's clear that there has been some skin bleaching. She's probably used chemicals which contain very high doses of acids on her face, combined with high-acid creams to lighten her skin, she told Us Weekly. She added that Kim has probably had her eyes done as well. They seem elongated and completely different. Kim would have had to have surgery to remove the fat, skin, and tissue to create this new eye shape. But the biggest differences, according to Jennifer, are to her jawline. She could have had Botox injections under the jaw for a more chiseled look, she tells Us. And in case it's not obvious, Kim probably had filler injected into her cheeks. She looks nothing like her old self and looks like she's playing some sort of character. It's honestly unsettling. Now we have Donatella Versace. Donatella Versace has never admitted to getting plastic surgery, but many experts have shared their assessment of her drastic transformation. Dr. David Rappaport provided a timeline for Donatella's alleged procedures. From 2002, her face seems to have more artificially defined fullness, where now her lips seem to be overinflated, he said. Most recently, it seems very clear that she has a facelift scar that I can see in front of the temple area. You can see a fine line scar, he said. Her face looks more taut and tight, and she clearly has undergone facelift surgery, perhaps overinflated cheek and lips. It appears as if her nose has never been done. He added, mainly I would say facelift, somewhere between 2011 to 2014 she had one. The hairline has been lifted too high, it shouldn't end that high above the ear, and it could be because she's had more than one, but we can't know that for sure. Now, regardless of what she's done, we know she's had something something done, because her face looks completely different. Then there's Jer Burns. Actor Jer Burns' face shows exactly what can happen when you get too much bad Botox. You can see in his after photos that there is zero muscle movement in the center of his forehead. On the sides above his eyes, however, are more normal looking wrinkles that go with raising eyebrows. There is so much Botox though that it appears that he can't raise the inside half of his eyebrows as they're paralyzed. But Jer has other thoughts. In his lengthy 2016 interview with Kevin Pollak, Jer was asked if he had worked with country singer Kenny Rogers. I'm gonna say it was before the eye job, Kevin asked. Burns then decided to make a joke about himself and said, "Listen, I think it looks natural. Are you kidding? What?" before he started playing around with his face. But if he thinks that looks good, I'm questioning his entire judgment. Moving on to Mary Tyler Moore. Mary Tyler Moore acknowledged to getting plastic surgery in her autobiography published in 1995 by saying, "I decided to get a new face, or at least a much younger version of the one I already had. The operation went well, but the morning I was to leave the hospital, my face resembled a bruised tomato. My eyes were slits and my entire head was swathed in bandages. I'd been told what to expect, but I wasn't prepared for the apparition that squinted back at me from the mirror. I was a gargoyle." Now, Dr. Michael Nicole, a plastic surgeon in Newport Beach, spoke about Mary's transformation, saying, "She looks as if she had a facelift and a cheek rejuvenation. Part of what you're seeing is the overfilling of the cheeks, which causes the lopsidedness. I think she could use a fat transfer to the eyelids to soften the overall look." Yeah, she definitely does not look like what she looked like before. Next up is Pete Burns. Pete Burns left the music industry in 2002 and he began getting a lot of plastic surgery. He first turned to plastic surgery, he said, because of a crooked nose that was the result of being headbutted in Liverpool. He then went on to get 4 nose jobs, cheekbone implants, and numerous procedures on his lips. During a 2010 ABC interview, he explained, "I see myself as my own clay and I was remodeling it." Now, he went so far that repeated operations led to infections in his face and lips, and this ultimately led to endless corrective procedures. Then the medication he needed to take for this led him to develop blood clots in his legs, heart, and lungs. He was on his deathbed, but he recovered through a 10-day stay that involved the heavy use of blood thinners. Though he survived, Pete's teeth were forever damaged from the thinners, so he required veneers and ultimately total reconstructive surgery. He looked nothing like he did at the beginning of his career, and I'm sure fans had a hard time recognizing him. Now let's talk about LaToya Jackson. It's said that LaToya Jackson is just one nose job away from the same catastrophe suffered by her brother, Michael. In exclusive photos, LaToya was spotted dashing out of a store on October 13th, 2017. Now strangely, she was wearing a hairnet, leading some sources to speculate that she'd undergone cosmetic work earlier in the day. Now, if you look at photos of her in her past years, her nose is shrinking. Her face evolution was then revealed by a panel of America's top plastic surgeons, and while none have treated LaToya, they all agree that she's gone under the knife for multiple nose jobs. The outer flare of the nostrils has been severely narrowed to the point of near disappearance, said Dr. Lyle Back. Each surgery carries the risk of more collapse, and so we end up with a very unnatural, very narrow nostril. LaToya's nose appears to be ever changing, added Dr. Anthony Yon. The one constant is that it always appears to be getting smaller. I suspect she's had several nose jobs, and if you have too many nose jobs, the nose can collapse and it can be nearly impossible to breathe through, he added. I would strongly recommend LaToya stop with any further surgery on her nose. Another nose job could spell disaster. And yeah, I have to agree. She doesn't want her nose to fall off now, does she? Then there's Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox was once a famous actor who somewhat fell off, but it was due to her altering her appearance that got her back in headlines because of her shocking plastic surgery. Now, it's unclear if or when Nikki did undergo any procedures, since she apparently moved over to mostly voiceover work in 2009. However, the paparazzi did capture photos of Nikki in 2013 with extremely swollen lips and a puffy face that left many confused by her transformation. Now, Radar Online referred to Nikki in these photos as a far cry from her former self, while the Daily Mail called her almost recognizable and looking older than her 34 years. Now, her face looked puffy and far from natural. Celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Michael Flario talked about Nikki's transformation, and he said, "She definitely appears to have gotten some sort of filler in her cheeks and lips, which could either be Perylene or Resolene. Injectables always look best on a person when they are not noticeable, not when everyone can tell that the person had work done." Well, unfortunately, we can definitely tell that she had work done. And finally on our list, we have Khloe Kardashian. Kardashian. Since 2007, Khloe Kardashian has starred with her family in their reality show, but Khloe's face has gone through many different changes. Now, fans have wondered whether Khloe's ever-changing appearances is the result of plastic surgery, fillers, photo editing, or a combination of the three, and personally, I think it's all three. I love her, but why is one eye higher? One user wrote in a comment section of her photos. Another user shared, "What? No, not authentic at all. Even her fans are getting confused." Now, Khloe has addressed the backlash she receives over her altered Instagram post by admitting to using filters. According to the US Sun, she posted a series of filtered videos to her Instagram stories in June 2021, and she captioned one of the clips, "Mary God bless your filter." Now, fans now know that she alters her images, but what about her actual physical appearance? It turns out that Khloe has admitted to undergoing plastic surgery as well. She said, "For me, everyone says, oh my gosh, she's had her third face transplant, but I've had one nose job and everyone gets so upset." Now, it seems like Khloe really doesn't care how people are perceiving her because she's doing what makes her happy, but sometimes it's just very confusing.
Erin Moriarty has become the new face, literally, of young celebrities giving into public perception and beauty standards, partly because the dichotomy found in her getting plastic surgery when her character, Starlight, in the show that launched her fame, The Boys, struggles with media attention on her body and face and receiving pressure to look a certain way and appease beauty standards. For fans of her character to see Erin undergo surgery for the exact thing Starlight was trying to run from, it caused a mass wave on social media. It became the epicenter of a conversation on young women being deeply affected by beauty standards and what features are deemed beautiful or not. Megyn Kelly recently did a news story with the Daily Wire's Michael Knowles calling plastic surgery a social illness. Kelly used Moriarty, who has received buccal fat removal, a chin and jaw shave surgery, a nose job, microblading, and lip injections as her example, saying more and more young women are doing this, referring to unnecessary plastic surgery on an already beautiful face. Kelly said, "It's not about an objection to plastic surgery, it's about an obsession with turning yourself into a fake version of yourself. I find it like a sign of mental illness. I really want to get into the heads of these young girls and say, please don't do this." Another fan base that was quick to point out the differences in their fave celeb was Noah Cyrus's. Noah Cyrus, who actually looked quite similar to her sister Miley and her mother Tish in her younger years, first went through a shocking visual change circa 2020. She debuted lip filler and cheek filler and microbladed eyebrows, as was the trend at the time in beauty, and it's something she's maintained as a visual sin. But in 2023, it looks like she went a step further when she got a nose job, as was pointed out by her fans after she attended the January 2023 Paris Fashion Week looking shockingly different. And now, in 2024, she has sparked rumors for buccal fat removal, as she's recently debuted uber gaunt cheeks, the current trend thanks to Ozempic as well. Someone who's also faced some commentary for looking different from their debut days is Quan Nara. The former Hello Venus K-pop idol turned actress's plastic surgery controversy was sparked when photos from her junior high days were leaked online. There are some noticeable differences, primarily in the brow bone and nose area, which sparked discussions and some rumors about her having had plastic surgery. As the rumors escalated, she eventually addressed the speculation through a TV episode of Taxi. After the host admitted to having had plastic surgery himself on his nose and eyes, Nara explained, "I was shocked by my appearance at the beginning of my debut and have been consistently working on staying in shape ever since." She also insisted she never received plastic surgery, but that she's just been getting Botox for a long time. Despite her claim, plenty of her adoring fans did send messages of positivity and love, claiming even if she did have plastic surgery, as many still suspect she did, they weren't going to judge her for it. Reed Ewing, however, judged himself pretty harshly and shared how that affected his plastic surgery journey in the Huffington Post. The Modern Family actor expressed in an essay he had written about his heartbreaking battle with body dysmorphia. Ewing revealed that after moving to LA for bigger and better gigs, he became obsessed over what he perceived to be imperfections in his appearance as a man. That he wasn't handsome enough, chiseled enough, that these things would affect his career and his castability. His first plastic surgery as a result is at 19 when he gets cheek implants, which he described as incredibly painful both both physically and emotionally. He had to wear a mask for weeks after the procedure, which led to him temporarily avoiding his home to avoid people knowing he had had it. Ewing claimed that the implants had actually made his face appear more gaunt because they defined his cheekbones rather than the actual cheek, and his second doctor then suggests a chin implant as a correction, instead of just removing the problem implants. Ewing got additional procedures, which led to more procedures, all in an effort to correct the prior ones. He had essentially become addicted to plastic surgery and explained that never once did a doctor recommend removing the things and just getting therapy. They always recommended doing more and more, feeding into the addiction and lining their own pockets. Reed has since sworn off plastic surgery in 2023, claiming it made him feel even more insecure and isolated than he did before he got any work done at all. Nikita Dragun needed plastic surgery to help her blossom into the woman that she is, but she too, like Reed, became addicted and fell into a pattern of unnecessary surgeries that chased down imagined imperfections. Nikita, who was born the male sex, transitioned to the female sex over the past decade and shared that journey online, earning millions of followers in the process with her bold and brash personality. But in 2018, Nikita decided to get real about another side of herself she wasn't documenting. To quote, "I recently broke this addiction," she expressed, "and I know that's a lot to take in, but let me explain." Nikita shared that the hardest part of her transition was her hormone therapy. The changes in her body resulted in her being critical of her appearance, suffering from body dysphoria, and ultimately leading her to undergo more and more cosmetic procedures. Getting her brow bone and jaw shaved, she got 4 nose jobs, she got Botox, she got breast implants, which required more surgery to fix the complications with the breast tissue following. To quote, "I felt this immense pressure to need to pass, to need to be a woman, to need to feel this level of confidence, so I was really in this dark place where I had to look in the mirror and stop myself from wanting to change everything because it got to the point where I didn't even know why I was doing the surgeries anymore," she explained. Thankfully, the starlet has recovered from her addiction and continues to be an advocate for transgender youth and those with plastic surgery addictions. Crystal Hefner also came clean about her plastic surgery addiction and how it was shaped too by the unrealistic pressures put on women to fit certain parameters of beauty, or otherwise they'd be deemed unwomanly. As a Playboy model and one of Hugh Hefner's wives, Crystal Hefner felt that she was expected to look a certain way, explaining years later, "I don't know whether I felt empowered by dressing scantily clad, showing cleavage, etc., or if I just felt it was expected of me or what," she shared on Instagram. Whatever the reasons were, Hefner had a variety of surgeries performed on her, which eventually took a toll on her health. Her breast implants caused memory loss, spatial disorientation, migraines, and fatigue, and a fat transfer surgery almost cost her her life. After all her negative experiences with cosmetic alterations and exhausted of maintaining the Hefner image after the dirtbag's death, Crystal opted for a more natural look, both in real life and on social media. To quote her, "I removed everything fake from my body and I deleted all my old photos. I am more authentic, vulnerable, and I feel I belong more to myself." She further explained she had concerns about who would stick around with her account moving in that new direction. "As I saw followers drop by the thousands every day, I was in the red. I was watching girls that had similar pages keep posting the same scantily clad stuff and growing exponentially while I tanked hard." But in the end, while she initially lost followers, her numbers eventually rebounded into a fan base that respected her authenticity. This next influencer once gave an Instagram shout out to a plastic surgeon. It's Sofia Richie. The plastic surgeon she shouted out in question was celebrity Jason Diamond, to whom she accredited, "Thank you for always taking care of me." Though Sofia, 29 at the time, didn't specify what work she'd had done, Dr. Rodriguez, who's a board-certified internal medicine physician, suggests based off her age and her facial changes during aging, to quote, "Sofia has likely received a rhinoplasty, lip fillers, and under eye filler, and maybe chin filler. As for her wrinkle-free skin, probably Botox injections or laser treatments." Speaking of barely there adjustments made through plastic surgery, Hailey Bieber has had some sneaky subtle style of work done on her as well. Most of the young celebs nowadays, it's very subtle. Or do you not remember the iconic Kanye 2022 moment where for no reason during social media rant he aired out the fact Hailey had a rhinoplasty, calling her nose job Hailey Bald Loose? The model, 27, vehemently denied it at the time, but the rumor's been following her forever, and understandably so when past and present pictures are lined up. According to Dr. Ramtin Kassir, founder of Kassir Plastic Surgery, he thinks she got work done specifically around her eyes. To quote, "She likely had a blepharoplasty, aka a brow lift, or some expertly injected Botox around the brows." Another starlet who had blink and you miss it minor plastic surgery was Dove Cameron. There's no denying this one. The Descendants star, 28, has been acting since 8. weight, so it's not surprising her look would evolve, but her acid changes suggest more than just growing up. Dove really looks like how she did when she was younger, just if you also happen to grab the skin around her temple and upper cheekbone area and yank it back towards her hairline. Dove has gotten a rhinoplasty as well as upper blepharoplasty, as her eyelids are no longer as hooded, claims Dr. Carlos Rodriguez, director of Skinny Med Spa. He also threw in the speculation her lips may have filler, but he can't determine that as a factor of age or not, unlike very obvious brow lift. And last up is a celebrity whose subtle surgery combos became not so subtle when paired together. It's actually Miley Cyrus. Pair up her buccal fat removal, the big veneers with lip filler, eyebrow lift, and her newest diet of Ozempic, and you got a Miley Cyrus that looks like a permanently surprised Tim Burton character. This exact cocktail is what almost all our adored female celebrities have had done in the recent years. It's a surefire winner, and it highlights all the features most popular in bone structure and faces right now. But that's the thing, just because a feature's popular doesn't mean you can make it suit your face. Take Cyrus's notoriously soft cheeks and round face. It's completely genetic. You see them on both her parents and her siblings, but Miley decided to suck the buccal fat out and expose her cheekbones, which her face isn't really meant to do. It's caused the singer to look extremely gaunt. It clashes with her newest set of veneers, which they themselves are a whole other problem because they're too big for her mouth. You haven't noticed she's always had it open recently? I think she's playing it off well as an aesthetics thing, but it genuinely seems like it's just uncomfortable for Miley Cyrus to have her mouth closed around those giant veneers. You can even see the difference between them and her authentic teeth photographed in years prior. Meanwhile, up top, Miley did an eyebrow lift, which is to help her cheekbone not look so much gaunt as delicate, but it didn't really take. Instead, Miley is given a distinctly surprised and skeletal looking face, and since her cheeks were drained and her eyebrows yanked back, her eyes are looking larger than life in the middle. Well, the singer's newest 70s style aesthetic, 70s country blend aesthetic is helping carry these newly augmented features, as is her stylist. You know, the big coiffed hair distracts from the yanked back eyebrows, slinky 70s dresses distract from an alarmingly thin Ozempic frame, etc, etc. There's no denying Miley's had some very in-your-face work done on, well, her face.
First off, we have Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan, who's known for her sweet, innocent look, unveiled a dramatically different look in recent years. Ryan appeared in various rom-coms and series in the 80s and 90s that matched her bubbly personality. It was a time that demonstrated her external and internal beauty. However, female heroine roles eluded the actress in recent years. She decided to go for the classic Real Housewives of Beverly Hills look and change the natural grace that she had during her prime. Her new appearance sparked debates among fans and the general audience about whether she got work done. The most obvious thing Meg Ryan got done is cheek filler or fat transfer to her cheeks, doctors say. When she smiles, the filler seems to move up, making her eyes look smaller, one doctor said. Surgeons believe Meg may have had too much Botox on her forehead, which dropped to the brows during time. As a result, her eyes looking smaller. Although she still looks absolutely beautiful, it is safe to say everybody misses her cute innocence from the 80s and 90s. Next up, we have Mickey Rourke. This American actor first appeared in Body Heat in 1981 before showing his acting prowess in his preceding films. It's nothing new to compare Rourke's work with the likes of James Dean, even Robert De Niro. His re-emergence in the 2000s with prominent roles in Sin City 2005 and The Wrestler in 2008 solidified his status in Hollywood. Plus, he was once known as one of the film industry's most handsome stars. Unfortunately, plastic surgery made his career dwindle. With his bad boy persona in 80s cinema, a botched plastic surgery changed the public's perception of him. The general audience argues that he had cheek and maybe chin implants. He lost his original tough guy packaging after the surgeries. In 2009, Rourke admitted that his looks did change because of botched plastic surgery. He said most of it was done to mend his boxing injuries. However, he went to the wrong guy to put his face back together, resulting in an extremely changed look. Next up, we have Madonna. At the 2023 Grammys, Madonna revealed her new look, and fans were, let's just say, confused. Some calling her a quote alien trying to blend in as a human, and others blatantly calling her quote hideous. 2 days after the Grammys, Madonna slammed people who chose to focus on her looks instead of the speech she gave before the historic performance she introduced. Sam Smith and Kim Petras were the stars that she was introducing that night. Instead of focusing on what I said in my speech, which was about giving thanks for the fearlessness of artists like Sam and Kim, many people chose to only talk about close-up photos of me taken with a long lens camera by a press photographer that would distort anybody's face, she captioned an Instagram video on February 7th. The pop icon went on to say that she is once again caught in the glare of ageism and misogyny that permeates the world we live in. Madonna says this world does not, quote, celebrate women past the age of 45 and will punish her if she continues to be strong-willed, hardworking, and adventurous. I have never apologized for any of the creative choices I've made, nor the way that I look or dress, and I'm not going to start today, the 7-time Grammy winner continued. I have been degraded by the media since the beginning of my career, but I understand that this is all a test, and I'm happy to do the trailblazing so that all the women behind me can have an easier time in the years to come. In the words of Beyonce, you won't break my soul. Next up, we have Miss Ariana Grande. Now, this one is not as noticeable as the other celebs we talked about, but fans are still wondering what happened to her face. YouTube videos went viral in 2023 and 2022 titled, quote, what happened to Ariana's face, and Ariana's eyes are weird. Here's what we know about Ariana Grande's alleged plastic surgery. 1. A nose job. Ariana Grande allegedly had a rhinoplasty procedure to reduce her nose size and shape it more naturally. This is one of the most common types of rhinoplasty procedures performed on celebrities because it gives them an instantly slimmer face, which makes them appear younger than their actual age. Number 2. Surgeons think she's had a brow lift. According to sources close to Ariana Grande, it is true that she has undergone a brow lift surgery. That is in order to eliminate the sagging skin under her eyes and make her look more youthful. It can do that by helping you look less tired or stressed out, while also removing that angry look from your face. Number 3, surgeons think that she has had a facelift in recent years. Another common procedure that many stars go through is facial rejuvenation with fillers such as Botox injections. It helps prevent wrinkles from forming around their eyes or mouth area over time due to their age. Ariana even got emotional in a video posted on Vogue's YouTube channel recently, where she actually admits she no longer continues the Botox treatment and she felt like she was, quote, hiding herself under all those cosmetic procedures. Next up, we have the late Joan Rivers. In 2010, at 23 years old, Rivers revealed that she underwent 10 cosmetic procedures in one day, including a chin reduction, brow lift, and Botox injections. This beloved American comedian, host, and actress paved her way into stardom with her natural beauty. However, it comes as no surprise when plastic surgery enters the equation of a celebrity's life. She has had multiple procedures like facelifts, neck lifts, to name a few. In an interview with her husband Spencer Pratt, she said that she was too young to make life-changing decisions. She said she was under so much pressure from what she saw on the internet, it made her do these surgeries. But Joan Rivers said that everybody should take plastic surgery seriously. For her, the recovery was devastating. Her heart even stopped for a bit, which made her more transparent about all the work that she has gotten done. Next up, we have Joselyn Wildenstein, a Swiss socialite formerly married to billionaire Alec Wildenstein. When in 1999 Alec filed for divorce, she reportedly spent $4 million on various surgeries. She denies having excessive plastic surgery, citing it's just her Swiss heritage, but admitted to one surgery to make her eyes more cat-like. According to her ex, Alec Wildenstein, she was thinking that she could fix her face like a piece of furniture. Skin does not work that way, he says. Wildenstein claims that she has not had any income at all for the last 8 years after her ex-husband's former family cut her off from her $100 million annual divorce settlement payments. The Swiss-born socialite decided to make a 2-part docuseries and potential TV show produced by the team behind the hit Keeping Up with the Kardashians because all her money's gone. I have a huge problem with my settlement, she told The Telegraph at the luxurious Mayborn Hotel in LA. Since 8 years, they have completely cut me off, she says. Wildenstein, now 82, rose to fame in the 1990s during her high-profile divorce from her art-dealing husband, Alec Wildenstein, from which she received a whopping $2.5 billion in the settlement and $100 million each year afterwards. Next up, we have Miss Donatella Versace. Her designs for Versace may spark 1,000 copycats, but there's no danger of women following suit when it comes to her new face. 20 years ago, the fashion guru had naturally full lips and very smooth skin, but as she stepped out 10 years ago in 2014 for the first time since major surgeries, her face was striking for all the wrong reasons. Users on Reddit have shared their opinions, and some of these comments are not the nicest, let's just say. Why is her face slick like Vaseline? She looks like a Muppet. And why does she look extraterrestrial? Are some of the top comments on the thread. Next up, we have Zac Efron. Considering that Zac Efron has literally grown up on screen, his fans are pretty familiar with his famous good looks. From his wholesome start as a teen star in High School Musical, through his recent dramatic turn in The Iron Claw, audiences have seen him through a variety of stages. When the heartthrob started looking noticeably different in recent years, they were understandably curious. Thankfully, there's no speculation necessary. Efron himself has been fairly candid about what has led to the transformation in his appearance. Zac Efron's famous face does look a bit different nowadays. The former Disney star revealed that he did have to undergo some medical procedures, but not for the cosmetic reasons some people might assume. In a 2022 interview with Men's Health, the actor revealed that his enlarged jawline was actually due to an old injury. While running in socks in his home in 2013, Efron slipped and smashed his chin against the granite corner of a fountain. The injury was so severe he lost consciousness, and when he woke up, his chin bone was hanging off his face. As for how the 2013 injury impacted his appearance so many years later, he explained to Men's Health that it related to his masseter muscles overcompensating for the injured muscles in his face, combined with his temporary failure to continue physical therapy. Our next celebrity is Miss Dolly Parton. Dolly is a country music legend, known for hits like I Will Always Love You and 9 to 5, but she's equally known for her plastic assets as well. One of the first times she admitted to getting work done was in 1977 in an interview with Barbara Walters. But honestly, Dolly, we love you and you look great. Our final celebrity today is Kylie Jenner. Since her initial debut on reality television, Kylie Jenner has undergone a significant, very dramatic shift from her lips to even her skin tone. Her latest new image, however, showcases a larger butt and a smaller waist. Most likely, a Brazilian butt lift or buttock implants were used to achieve the new look. To create a lower waist and a bumpier back, the Brazilian butt lift combines severe body sculpting with liposuction. For reference, a BBL employs liposuction to remove fat from other parts of the body, in other words, moving things around. Often the fat on the stomach or thighs is sucked out and injected into the buttocks. In a recent episode of the family show The Kardashians, Kylie said she would reverse the decision to get plastic surgery if she could. "I wish I never got it done to begin with," she told her BFF. "I recommend anyone thinking about it to wait after having children." She went on to say that her daughter Stormy, 5 years old, helped her keep things in perspective. "Obviously I have a daughter too. I'd be heartbroken if she wanted to get her body done at 19, like Kylie did. She's the most beautiful thing ever."
Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis, the Scream Queen, once spilled the beans about her plastic surgeries she did in this interview where she was frankly super honest about it. Turns out she went through a whole bunch of procedures like liposuction and Botox, but she said straight up that none of it really worked out the way she'd hoped. Even though her face didn't change drastically, you can definitely tell she's had some work done if you look closely. But despite all of that, apparently she's totally cool with aging naturally. At her age, she's still rocking it and keeping her status as the Scream Queen intact. Quite refreshing to see a celeb being real about this stuff. Jamie Lee Curtis teaches us that even with all the money and access to all these fancy procedures, things don't always turn out as planned. But at least she's still confident and embracing herself, and at the end of the day, I suppose that's what really matters. Coming up next is Blac Chyna, also known as Angela White, made some pretty big moves. She decided to undo a bunch of the plastic surgery stuff she had done before. See, she wasn't really feeling the way she looked anymore, so she got rid of all those fillers and stuff she had put in her face. Originally, she changed a lot about her face. Her cheeks, her chin, her nose, her lips. I I mean, you name it. But as time went on, she started feeling like she was looking a bit plastic, I guess. Then she came clean about it, saying that she felt a bit out there and not like herself anymore. She even told her fans that going under the blade for cosmetic reasons definitely wasn't worth it. She started going back to being called Angela, her birth name, and trying to get back to her original self. She admitted that the look wasn't great and it really didn't represent who she was. Undoing all that surgery took time, but now she's on the path to getting back to her natural looking self. If you're enjoying the video so far, you could support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Beyond the Screen, and ringing that notification bell. Coming up next is Michael Jackson, who is definitely the most well-known name on this list. And seeing that he made a very drastic change, he spent 30 years trying to look exactly like who he wanted to be. He had over 100 facial procedures done, mostly because one of his previous doctors had totally botched his face. He had multiple nose jobs, his skin bleached, lip fixtures, and cheek enhancements. There were a few different reasons why he made the changes, one being that he wanted to resemble Diana Ross, and another reason being that he wanted to remove any sort of resemblance to his father, whom he had a deep-seated hatred for. When he started out in music, he had acne scars and felt like his nose was too big, so a few years later, he got the scarring removed and had his nose fixed up so he felt a little bit better about himself. Over the years, he got his nose done numerous amount of times, totally got rid of his natural afro, made his cheekbones higher, his lips thinner, bleached his skin, and his eyelids raised. Overall, at the end of the day, I don't think it was really worth it, as he never really reached his ideal look. Next up, you won't believe it, but Courtney Cox spilled the beans about her experience with facial fillers. Yeah, she totally went for them, hoping to keep that youthful look going strong, but it did not turn out as planned. She was really hoping to dodge that aging bullet like most of us would, I guess. But instead of getting the results she wanted, it ended up being a complete and total regret for her. So what did she do? Well, she made the bold move to dissolve all those fillers. She just wanted to feel more like her old self and go for the natural look again. Plus, she mentioned something pretty interesting. She didn't like that the fillers messed with her facial movements. Imagine not being able to move your face properly because of all that stuff you got crammed in there. Yeah. No thanks. Next up, Kim Kardashian's journey with plastic surgery was quite the roller coaster. She's been on a transformation spree, starting with her famous back end implants that were practically a shelf for a champagne bottle. Cheeks, yeah, she filled those up with some enhancers. She tinkered with her nose a whole bunch of times, and plus she went for a whole bunch of other body tweaks. But the kicker is that she's big on a skin enhancer thing that's all about filling and smoothing, making sure she's always picture perfect without a single blemish. Throw in those regular spray tans for that eternal sun-kissed look. And her contouring game used to be her thing, but enhancing those facial features like an artist, but more recently, she did a switcheroo by letting go of her Brazilian lift that she had going on, but apparently there was no surgery to undo that. She just went for the slow and steady weight loss route, letting things naturally settle back to normal. Next up is Kenny Rogers. So Kenny Rogers was aging so gracefully. He almost had this Santa Claus look going on, but you know, with the sweet features and that white beard. But then he messed all that up, deciding to tweak his cheekbones, went overboard on his eyelids, got a nose job, and ended up with this super fake tan. The result being, well, just say he didn't quite look like the Kenny Rogers we all knew and loved. I mean, some say he even resembled a, Walmart version of himself, like a bad taxidermy job gone wrong. It's kind of sad, but also a little bit funny. May he rest in peace, though. Despite all that, he left behind a legacy through his music that will always be remembered. Next up, Burt Reynolds. Yeah, remember him? He wasn't your typical Hollywood heartthrob, especially when he was younger. But hey, he aged pretty darn well, all things considered. However, as he got older, he decided to go through the surgery route to maintain his middle-aged charm. Problem was, it did not pan out. Instead of enhancing his look, it totally backfired. He ended up looking more like a fragile grandpa than ever before. He used to credit his smooth skin to his pops, but as time went on, he got fewer wrinkles when he was middle-aged. He went all in with surgeries, getting a nose job, eye lifts, oodles of all kinds of Botox, and even a full facelift. Some say his face seems like it's being held together by those surgeries because it looks so tight and stretched. Now it seems like Burt might have missed the memo about embracing the natural look, but aging gracefully isn't everyone's cup of tea, I suppose. Next up is Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers, you know, she never truly was content with how she looked. Her daughter spilled the beans in a memoir mentioning that Joan went through 348 surgeries and a whopping 700 plus facial tweaks. Could you imagine? All that to chase a dream look that just kept slipping away. She'd crack jokes about celebs in her stand-ups, but she'd also throw shade at herself, which is a bit sad in hindsight. In 2014, during a routine throat procedure, things took a bad turn. It wasn't because she wanted more surgery, no, medical injuries snagged her life when her brain didn't get enough oxygen during that procedure. Which is super wild considering the fortune she poured into her looks. But hey, teaches us something important, that no amount of surgery can fix how you feel on the inside. Next up is Donatella Versace. Back in the day, she had these naturally full lips and a smooth skin that were envied by many. Now fast forward, and her recent appearance makes heads turn, not in a good way. Doctors took a closer look at her recent pics and spotted some telltale signs. That extra shiny skin's probably too much Botox and laser treatments trying to make things smoother. And that's not all. They suspect some bone loss in her lower jaw, hinting at possible jaw implants. Versace is a classic cautionary tale about the risks of going too far with plastic surgery. Sometimes aiming for a better look can end up making things worse. So while celebs may have all the resources for surgeries, we can't always reverse these changes. And coming up last on our list is Betty White, the amazing lady we all adore. She did something quite unexpected, getting her eyelids lifted. Now she was all about embracing natural beauty, saying that we're all born unique and beautiful in our own way. But then she went for this eyelid lift. Now at first she wasn't too sure about it, scolding herself for years about it afterwards. But as she grew older, she kind of made peace with it. She realized it didn't totally mess up her lovable face or her charm. Betty always said that everybody's got their own special kind of beauty, but sometimes even the best need a little boost, I guess. And hey, it didn't change the fact that she was still the same witty, wonderful person we all knew and loved. So yeah, even someone as awesome as Betty White can try something new and still get away with it.
Start off with a star who needs no introduction, the incomparable Adele. Known for her powerful voice and moving lyrics, Adele has captured hearts worldwide. Today, it's not just her voice that's got everyone talking. The Grammy-winning singer stunned fans by unveiling her new look. After a significant weight loss journey, Adele is almost unrecognizable. Her transformation was a testament to her determination and commitment to personal growth and wellness. How did you feel when you saw Adele's incredible fitness transformation journey? I personally am obsessed that she's taking care of herself, loving herself, as we all should. Did it inspire you guys to embark on your own fitness journey? Let us know in the comments. Her journey towards a healthier lifestyle began after the birth of her son when she wanted to be a healthy and present mother. Since then, she's been on a gradual journey of self-improvement, making small lifestyle changes that have led to remarkable results. Adele's transformation has been a mix of diet and exercise, but always emphasizes the importance of self-love activity. She's never been one to conform to societal standards of beauty and encourages others to do the same. Adele's transformation is not just physical. She's also achieved incredible success in her music career with numerous Grammy Awards and record-breaking album sales. She's established herself as one of the most talented and influential artists of our time. But beyond her musical achievements, Adele is also a proud advocate for mental health awareness. She's opened up about her struggles with postpartum depression and regularly uses her platform to shed light on important mental health issues. There's no doubt you're familiar with this next celeb on our list, Liam Payne. His unforgettable voice graced our speakers for years, but today we're not discussing his music. Let's talk about something that has fans buzzing worldwide. Pictures of Liam emerged online that had us all doing a double take. The singer looks drastically different, and the internet has been abuzz speculation about his surgery. There's no official confirmation of any surgery, but I mean, come on. Once you see the older pics and videos of him, there's no doubt the former 1D band member had some done right, but why? As we all know, pressure of fame and societal expectations can be overwhelming
overwhelming, especially for young celebrities like Liam. The constant scrutiny and criticism can take a toll on one's self-esteem and body image. Unfortunately, this is not a new issue in the entertainment industry. Many artists have felt pressured to conform to certain beauty standards, leading them to go under the knife. What does this say about our society and its obsession with perfection? Counting down to one of the most renowned faces in the fashion industry, Bella Hadid. Now, Bella's striking features and unique look have been the subject of much speculation, with rumors swirling about her potentially having undergone. But before we delve in, we gotta remember this video isn't about judgment, but rather a discussion around beauty standards and the choices celebrities might make under societal pressure. To begin our exploration, let's rewind a bit. Bella's early pictures show a beautiful, natural young girl with distinctive facial features. Fast forward a few years, and we see some noticeable changes. Her jawline appears more defined, her cheekbones higher, and her eyes somewhat more cat-like. Many experts believe these changes could point to specific procedures like brow lift, rhinoplasty, or cheek jawline contour. However, it's important to mention that Bella has consistently denied having any plastic surgery, attributing her changing looks to makeup techniques and natural aging. Ultimately, the truth remains known only to Bella herself. Irrespective of whether Bella Hadid has had plastic surgery or not, the critical takeaway is that everyone has the right to feel beautiful in their skin, and it's a deeply personal choice. It's worth noting that Bella is not the only celebrity who has faced criticism over potential plastic surgery. In fact, it's become a common topic of discussion in the entertainment industry, with many stars feeling pressured to maintain a certain appearance in order to succeed. This pressure can lead to extreme measures, including going under the knife. Next on our list is the Baywatch beauty, Pamela Anderson. Knowing for her stunning looks and phenomenal acting, Pamela Anderson has been a household name since she graced our screens. However, recent years have seen her undergo a significant plastic surgery transformation, leaving her almost unrecognizable. From her early years in the spotlight, Pamela always had a knockout appearance, but her recent foray into plastic surgery has stunned fans worldwide. Sources suggest numerous procedures, including breast implants, fillers, a possible facelift, and even eyelid surgery. Pamela Anderson's transformation has sparked a discussion on society's unrealistic beauty standards and the pressure to maintain a certain image in the entertainment industry. Many have criticized the media for their relentless scrutiny of celebrities' physical appearances, leading them to feel like they need to constantly alter their looks. Others argue that plastic surgery is a personal choice and should not be judged. After all, if a person is unhappy with their appearance and has the means to change it, who are we to judge? But whether we agree or not with Pamela Anderson's decision to go under the knife, one thing is clear: she remains an iconic figure in Hollywood, and her talent and charisma continue to shine through. None other than the fashion queen herself. Next, Donatella Versace. Known for her extravagant style and flamboyant persona, Donatella has been a force to reckon with in the fashion world. But if you've seen older photos of her, you might have noticed a dramatic change in her. Yeah, we're talking about the power of surgery. From her sharper nose to her fuller lips, Donatella looks almost unrecognizable compared to her earlier days. Yet she remains a fashion icon, unapologetically herself and indifferent to the critics. So what's your take on Donatella's transformation? We want to hear from you, so leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Donatella's transformation through plastic surgery is not uncommon in the fashion industry. In fact, it has become quite a norm for celebrities and high-profile individuals to undergo cosmetic procedures to enhance their appearance. But Donatella's journey with plastic surgery goes beyond just physical alterations. She's openly discussed her struggle with addiction and how it affected her self-confidence and body image. Plastic surgery was not just a way to fix her features, but also a way to regain control and boost her self-esteem. Despite criticism from some who argue that she's lost her natural beauty, Donatella remains unapologetic about her choices. In an interview with The Guardian, she stated, "I don't want to look like everyone else. I would hate it. Don't want to be the victim of a beauty trend." That's one way to cope. Next, Kim Basinger. The Academy Award-winning actress who has been a staple of Hollywood glamour and talent for decades, Kim Basinger. Basinger has been making headlines for her dramatically altered appearance, leading some to speculate that she's undergone cosmetic surgery. Experts believe that such transformations can be attributed to a combination of factors including aging, lifestyle changes, and cosmetic procedures. Regardless of how much she may or may not have changed, one thing is certain: Kim Basinger remains a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood. Now on to the next celebrity on our list, Tori Spelling. Just looking at her before and after pictures, it's clear to see that Tori's transformation is quite significant. From her ever-changing hairstyles to her evolving fashion sense, and even reported cosmetic surgeries, which by the way she's been pretty open about. Critics and fans alike are speculating about the potential surgeries she might have undergone, as some of her photos reveal a transformation that makes her almost unrecognizable. Break down what we know and discuss how these changes are in Tori, and the larger conversation about celebrity cosmetic procedures. Tori Spelling's transformation has been a hot topic. The actress and reality TV star has always been in the public eye, but her appearance has noticeably changed over time. While she has never openly discussed any cosmetic procedures, speculations have only grown stronger as photos of her looking dramatically different continue to surface. One of the biggest changes that people have noticed is Tori's slimmer figure. In the past, she's openly struggled with her weight and even documented her journey to lose baby weight on her reality show. However, in recent years, it seems that Tori has achieved a much thinner and toned physique. Many have speculated that this could be due to liposuction or other body contours. Another noticeable change in Tori's appearance is her facial features. Her face appears more angular and defined, leading many to believe she may have had some sort of surgery on her jaw or cheekbones. Some experts even suggest she may have gotten a non-surgical nose job using fillers. Anyway, next up, Melanie Griffith, who's been a prominent figure in the film industry for many years, but she's been the center of attention for a different reason: her appearance. Melanie, who's never shied away from discussing her experiences with cosmetic procedure, has undergone surgery, and the results have left many fans surprised. She looks practically unrecognizable, sparking a wave of comments online about the dramatic transformation. Melanie has always embraced aging with grace and honesty, and her decisions about cosmetic surgery have been no exception. Whatever the public opinion may be, it's important to remember that at the end of the day, Melanie's choices about her body are her own, as are everyone else's about their own. Lara Flynn Boyle. Next, we're diving into the story of a Hollywood starlet who's been the talk of Tinseltown. We're talking about none other than Lara Flynn Boyle. With her high cheekbones, piercing eyes, and captivating screen presence, Boyle won our hearts in iconic roles in the 90s and early 2000s. However, recent years, Boyle has stepped out of the public eye, and when she returned, fans noticed a significant transformation. The rumors swirled about possible cosmetics procedures. Lara Flynn Boyle's drastically altered appearance shocked fans and ignited a dialogue about the pressures of maintaining youthful looks in Hollywood. Some speculated that Boyle succumbed to the pressure of society's beauty standards and underwent extreme measures to alter her appearance. Others argue that she was simply aging naturally, but the scrutiny and criticism from the public took a toll on her self-esteem. And on to the iconic actor who carved his place in Hollywood with roles like Rocky Balboa and John Rambo. He's been stirring up a lot of chatter with his latest appearance. Stallone, always recognized for his distinct, rugged looks and muscular physique, seemed almost unrecognizable after undergoing cosmetic procedure. Fans were taken aback as the actor's signature features seemed to have undergone a significant change. This drastic transformation left many wondering, is this really the Sylvester Stallone we've come to know and love? It's not uncommon for celebrities to undergo cosmetic procedures in an effort to maintain their youthful appearance. However, Stallone's transformation sparked a debate on the pressures of ageism and unrealistic beauty standards in Hollywood. Despite being 77 years old, the actor felt the need to alter his appearance in order to fit into society's narrow definition of beauty.